What if I told you that she doesn't ignore you because she's moved on, but because you haven't changed? You keep wondering why she doesn't see you anymore, why your presence feels invisible. But here's the truth. She only notices when something forces her to, and that something isn't begging, chasing, or proving your worth. It's transformation. The version of you she left behind, that's the one she doesn't care about. But the version of you that evolves, the one who stops seeking validation and starts commanding respect, that's when everything shifts. This isn't about tricks. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about mastering yourself so completely that she no longer holds power over you, and that's when she starts noticing. This is the story of men who stopped waiting to be seen and instead became undeniable, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it too. If you're ready to make the shift, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. I create my own value. Now, let's begin. Number 1. You stop giving her your attention, the power of absence. Attention is a currency. The more you give it away freely, the less valuable it becomes, and yet, most men don't realize this. They flood her with texts, respond instantly, and make themselves overly available, thinking that by showing more interest, she will reciprocate. But in reality, what is always available is never truly appreciated. At first, she may have enjoyed your attention. She liked the way you were always there, always ready to validate her, always eager to respond. But over time, your attention became predictable, expected, something she no longer had to work for. And what happens when something is given too easily? It loses its value. So you make a shift. You stop initiating conversations. You stop liking every post, responding to every story, reacting to every little thing she does. You stop being the one who chases. At first, she doesn't notice. She assumes you're just busy. But then a few hours turn into a few days, and suddenly something shifts in her mind. She starts wondering, why would he tell her to the contrary? Bring me a, did I do something wrong? Is he losing interest? The absence of your attention creates scarcity, and scarcity breeds desire. Why ignoring her makes you more attractive. Women are naturally drawn to mystery and uncertainty. They want what they feel they cannot fully have. When you were always available, there was no question about your interest. She knew she had you. But when you step back, when you remove your attention, you introduce an element of doubt. And doubt is what makes her think about you. Most men fear this. They worry that if they don't chase, she will forget about them. But the truth is the opposite. When you stop giving her attention, she starts craving it. The psychological shift. Why she starts missing you. Women are wired to notice patterns. When you suddenly break the pattern of constant attention, her brain perceives it as a loss. She wonders why. She starts checking her phone more often. She starts noticing your absence. And this is where the real power lies. If she was taking you for granted, she begins to reevaluate your value. If she was assuming you'd always be there, she starts to question that assumption. If she thought she had full control over your emotions, she begins to doubt it. And that doubt, it triggers attraction. The Stoic approach. Redirecting your attention. A Stoic man does not waste energy on things he cannot control. He does not seek validation from a woman, nor does he make her the center of his life. Instead, he takes that attention, the same energy he used to give away so freely, and invests it in himself. Instead of waiting for her response, he is at the gym, sharpening his body. Instead of checking her social media, he is working on his craft, building his empire. Instead of seeking her approval, he is mastering his own mind. And in doing so, he becomes more attractive not just to her, but to everyone. Because the man who is focused on his own path, the man who does not desperately seek validation, the man who is fully in control of his attention, that is the man women chase. What happens when you stop giving her attention? At first she might act indifferent, she might pretend she doesn't notice, but she does. And then one of two things will happen. She will reach out. Suddenly she is the one texting first, asking why you've been distant, trying to regain your attention. She will remain silent, not because she doesn't care, but because she is now wondering about you, thinking about you, and trying to figure out why you've changed. Either way, you win, because at this point you are no longer chasing her validation. You have already shifted your focus inward. You have reclaimed your power. The final lesson: attention is a privilege, not a gift. A man who values himself does not hand out his attention freely. He understands that where he directs his energy determines his results. So, when you stop giving your attention away, not as a manipulation tactic, but as a genuine shift in focus, you don't just regain her interest, you regain your self-respect. And that is worth more than any response from her. Number 2, you become a challenge, the power of making her work for you. Most men make the mistake of being too easy to get. They are always available, always accommodating, always trying to prove their worth. They believe that by showing how much they care, they will win her over. But what they fail to understand is this: what comes easily is never truly valued. Women do not desire men they can fully control. They desire men they have to earn. Think about it. Who are the men that women obsess over? The ones who are always available, always ready to please? Or the ones who hold their own, set boundaries, and make her put in effort to get their time and attention? The answer is obvious. Why being a challenge makes you more attractive. When you were always available, always responding instantly, always saying yes to her plans, she never had to work for you. She knew you were there. She knew she could have you whenever she wanted. But when you stop being so accessible, the dynamic shifts. She now has to wonder if you're free. She now has to wait for your responses. She now has to put in effort to keep your attention. And this small change alters her perception of you. You are no longer just an option. You are now a challenge. The psychology of why women love challenges. Human nature is simple. We desire what is just out of reach. When something is too easy, we take it for granted. But when something requires effort, when we feel we must earn it, we value it more. This is why women desire men who have standards, men who do not drop everything at their request, men who have their own priorities, their own lives, their own mission. Because a man like that, he is not replaceable. How to become a challenge without playing games. Becoming a challenge is not about being arrogant, manipulative, or playing hard to get. It's about setting boundaries and holding yourself to a higher standard. Stop being instantly available. If she messages you, don't rush to reply. If she asks to meet, don't always say yes. Make her wonder. Have your own priorities. When she sees that your time is valuable, she will begin to respect it. Don't let her dictate the pace. If she only reaches out when it's convenient for her, match her energy. Don't reward laziness. Be willing to walk away. If she isn't putting in effort, you don't chase, you simply move on. This is not about playing games. It's about demanding respect for your time and presence. Why women respect men who are hard to get. When a woman sees that you will not be easily controlled, something changes inside her. She stops assuming you'll always be there. She starts putting in effort to keep your attention. She begins to value you more. She may not realize it, but her attraction toward you will grow simply because she now sees you as a challenge, something worth pursuing. The Stoic mindset. You are the prize, not her. A Stoic man does not seek validation. He does not chase approval. He does not need to be chosen. He chooses. If she wants to be in your life, she must prove she belongs. If she wants your attention, she must earn it. If she does not put in effort, She does not deserve you. This is not about arrogance. This is about self-respect, because the moment you stop being the man who chases and start being the man who is pursued, you flip the entire power dynamic. And suddenly, she is the one working to keep you. Number 3. You focus on self-improvement, the power of becoming irresistible. Women are not attracted to words. They are not attracted to promises. They are not even attracted to effort if that effort is solely directed at winning them over. What truly attracts a woman, what makes her look at a man with admiration, curiosity, and even regret, is self-improvement. Not because you are doing it for her, but because you are doing it for yourself. Why self-improvement changes everything. At some point she stopped seeing you as someone valuable. Maybe she started taking you for granted. Maybe she believed she could find someone better. Or maybe she just got bored. But when you start upgrading yourself, something shifts. You no longer seek validation. You no longer wait for her approval. You no longer remain the same version of yourself she once thought she knew. And the irony? The moment she sees that you are growing, evolving, becoming better, she starts to pay attention again. Not because you are trying to win her back, but because she realizes she misjudged you. The 3 areas of growth that make you unignorable. If you truly want to reclaim your power and become the man she regrets losing, your focus must shift toward yourself, your body, the physical transformation. Women are naturally drawn to strength and discipline. When you start working out, dressing better and carrying yourself with confidence, people notice. Your posture, your presence, your energy, it all changes. And she will feel it, your purpose. The mental shift. A man without purpose is a man who clings to a woman for direction. When you start focusing on your goals, your mission, your career, you naturally become more attractive. A man who is busy building his empire is far more desirable than a man who is waiting for a text. Your mindset, the unshakable confidence. When you stop seeking approval, you become magnetic. When you stop fearing loss, you become irresistible. When you stop thinking about her, she starts thinking about you. How self-improvement shifts the power dynamic. At first she may not react, she may pretend she doesn't care. But when she sees that you are genuinely changing, that you are no longer the man who once chased her, something deep inside her awakens. She sees other women noticing you. She sees you becoming more confident. She sees you no longer needing her validation. And suddenly she questions everything. Did I make a mistake? Who's he doing so well without me? What if he finds someone better? The same way you once worried about losing her. Now she is the one who feels that fear. The Stoic mindset. Growth over validation. A Stoic man does not improve himself to impress others. He does not chase external validation. He does not care whether she notices or not. He improves because it is his duty. He sharpens his mind not for women, but for his own clarity. He strengthens his body not for approval, but for self-discipline. He builds his empire not to prove a point, but to live with purpose. And the result? Everyone, especially her, will notice. But by the time she realizes what she lost, you will have already outgrown the need for her recognition. Number 4. You stop caring about her opinion, the freedom of true confidence. There was a time when her words could shape your mood, a time when her validation dictated your confidence, a time when you adjusted your behavior, your choices, even your opinions, just to keep her happy. But that time is over, because the moment you stop caring about her opinion, you become free. Why her opinion no longer matters. Attraction is built on power dynamics. When you were constantly seeking her approval, you unknowingly gave her control over your self-worth. And when she was affectionate, you felt good. When she was distant, you felt anxious. When she criticized you, you questioned yourself. That is weakness. That is dependency. That is not how a man of value operates. A man who truly knows his worth He does not need external validation. He does not need reassurance. He does not care whether she approves of him, because his confidence is rooted in something deeper. And the moment she realizes she no longer has power over you, something changes. The psychological shift, when you stop seeking her approval. At first, she may not understand what's happening. She may test you, saying something subtle to see if it affects you. You changed. You don't care like you used to. I feel like you're different now. And she's right. Because now, when she makes a comment about your appearance, your goals or your choices, you don't flinch. If she talks your ambitions, you continue moving forward. If she questions your decisions, you stay firm in your path. If she tries to manipulate your emotions, you remain unaffected. This confuses her, it makes her wonder, it forces her to reevaluate you, because now she sees a man who does not beg, does not seek approval, does not shape himself to fit her expectations, and that is the most attractive thing you could ever be. The power of indifference. Why she starts chasing you. Women are drawn to certainty and confidence. A man who is firm in his beliefs, in his path, in his value, that is the man they cannot ignore. When you stop needing her opinion, she begins to feel something she hasn't felt in a long time. The fear of losing your attention. She starts to chase your validation because now it's no longer freely given. She starts to question herself, wondering why she no longer has control over you. She starts to see you differently, realizing you are no longer the man she once took for granted. And suddenly, she is the one seeking your approval, the Stoic approach. Owning your identity. A Stoic man does not bend to the opinions of others. He does not seek validation from women. He does not need to be understood or approved of. He speaks his truth without hesitation. He walks his path without apology. He stands firm without fear of judgment. And the moment he fully embodies this mindset, he becomes truly untouchable, because now no woman, no rejection, no opinion has the power to shake his foundation, and that is real confidence. Number 5. You stop being easily accessible, the power of scarcity. There was a time when she knew exactly where to find you. She knew that if she called, you would answer. If she texted, you would respond within minutes. If she needed you, you would be there, without hesitation, without conditions, without question. But now, you are no longer that man. You have shifted the dynamic. You are no longer easy to reach, easy to predict, easy to have. And suddenly she feels something she hasn't felt in a long time. The fear of losing you. Why being less available increases your value. Humans place higher value on things that are scarce. When something is always present, it is taken for granted. When something is uncertain, it becomes more desirable. When you were always available, you were like an open book. Predictable, safe, too familiar. She knew she could have you whenever she wanted, and that certainty killed the excitement. But when you stop being so accessible, she starts wondering about you. She starts checking her phone more often. She starts feeling your absence. And that absence, it creates value, the psychological shift, when she has to work for your time. At first she may act like she doesn't notice, but deep down, she does. She notices when you don't reply instantly. She notices when you don't always pick up her calls. She notices when you have your own life, your own plans, your own direction. And suddenly, she realizes she is no longer your priority. This forces her to take action. If she wants to talk to you, she has to put in effort. If she wants your time, she has to earn it. If she wants your attention, she has to deserve it. This changes the entire dynamic of the relationship, because now she sees you as a man with options, a man who is not desperate, a man who is in control. And that is when her interest grows. How to make yourself less accessible without playing games. This is not about ignoring her. This is not about being manipulative. This is about respecting yourself enough to set boundaries. Don't always reply instantly. If she messages you, take your time. Not to play a game, but because you are genuinely busy building your life. Don't always be available to meet. If she wants to see you, let her know you have your own schedule, your own priorities. Make her work around your time. Limit your emotional availability. If she only reaches out when she's bored or when it's convenient for her, do not reward that behavior. This is not about making her feel unimportant. It is about making her respect your time and presence. The Stoic approach. Mastering your time and energy. A Stoic man does not give his time away carelessly. He understands that his energy is sacred, his focus is limited, and his attention is valuable. He does not chase, he attracts. He does not beg for time. He gives it to those who deserve it. He does not make himself too accessible. He protects his energy. And the result? People, including her, start valuing his presence more. Because now she knows that if she wants to be in your life, she has to earn that privilege. Number 6. Other women start noticing you. The power of social proof. Something changes when a man shifts his focus inward, when he starts improving himself, setting boundaries, and living with purpose. People notice. And among those people, other women, the way you carry yourself, the way you move, the way you no longer seek validation from one woman but instead embrace your own worth. This energy is magnetic. And the moment she sees other women noticing you, that is the moment she starts to see you differently. Why women are attracted to men who are desired by others. This is not about making her jealous. This is about a simple psychological truth. Women are drawn to men who are socially validated by other women. If other women find you attractive, she subconsciously sees you as more valuable. If other women give you attention, she starts to question why she overlooked you. If other women want you, she suddenly feels the fear of loss. Because now, you are a man with options. It's the same reason why women are drawn to men in relationships. Men with high status, men who command attention in a room. Social proof makes attraction stronger. The psychological shift. When she realizes you are not just hers. At first she may act indifferent, but deep down she notices. She sees your confidence growing. She sees other women engaging with you. She sees that you are no longer waiting for her. And suddenly she feels the need to reclaim what she once took for granted. She may start testing the waters. Random text, just to check in, a sudden compliment, trying to regain your attention, a passive-aggressive comment about one of your new female friends. She won't admit it, but the truth is clear. She does not like the idea of another woman taking her place, because when you were chasing her, she felt secure. But now she feels the competition. How to leverage this without playing games. This is not about being a player. This is not about manipulating emotions. This is about becoming the man who naturally attracts attention, not because he is trying to, but because his presence demands it. Focus on yourself. The better you become, the more others will notice. Surround yourself with quality women, not to make her jealous, but because you naturally attract high-value people. Stay indifferent to her reactions. If she starts acting possessive, remain calm. Do not seek her validation. She will expect you to come running back the moment she shows interest again. But you have already moved forward. The Stoic mindset. Attraction without attachment. A Stoic man does not seek external validation, but he understands that his energy, his confidence, and his self-respect naturally draw people in. He does not chase. He is chased. He does not seek approval. He commands respect. He does not fear loss. He embraces abundance. And by the time she realizes what she lost, you will already be in the presence of a woman who never needed to be convinced of your worth. You started this journey thinking she just didn't care, but now you see the truth. She doesn't notice you until you stop noticing her and start focusing on yourself. She didn't take your worth away. She only exposed where you had yet to claim it. If you're ready to become the kind of man who doesn't chase but attracts, like this video, subscribe and comment below. I am in control. Stay focused. Keep evolving. The right people don't need to be convinced. They recognize value when they see it.